Hello! This video will be a bit different than my usual videos, because today we have a collab for once. This video is happening in collaboration with a fellow Arknights Content creator named Vosz. You can introduce yourself now.
Hey folks, my name is Vosz and I currently create videos centered around the new player experience in a niche 5-year-old mobile game.
But what does this mean for you, the viewer? There will be two videos on this topic. One will be on my channel and the other video will be on his channel. So I highly recommend that you watch his video after this one. But more on that later. Let's get this show started first. As you guys may or may not know, we currently have 323 operators in total, if we include the CN version of the game. Out of these, 149 are 5 stars, or almost half. To be more exact, 46.1% of all operators available are 5 stars. They come in different size and shapes, different flavors and obviously different gameplay elements. But they all have one major flaw, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Most of these 5 stars are not worth building. There's no need to invest in them whatsoever.
Surely this doesn't apply to every 5-star. How would you go about fixing this?
Oh, good question you got there. Let's talk about it first. Why are 5 stars not worth building in the first place? This is one of the hot takes I got from the comments. If you have any more hot takes, feel free to leave the comment. And while you're there, leave a like if you want to see more of my rants, and subscribe while you're at it. Let's first of all get over the already established fact. There are a lot of 5 stars in this game. Just from this alone you can already make the logical assumption that some of them are not as good as others. These are just normal things that happen inside a gacha game.
So you're saying the general rule is most 5 stars aren't worth building, not that they're all bad?
Yes, you would be right about that. There are a handful of 5 stars that underperform in regards to the rest. On the contrary, there are also a handful of 5 stars that perform better than other 5 stars. And if you want to know which operators actually perform better, head over to Vosz's channel and check out his video on the subject. Now then, to move this argument further along, the other reason 5 stars are not worth building is not only because of their bad performance, it comes from their variety.
Go on.
There are so many. Each 5 star can only do one thing well, so each one of them has a niche. Let's take Glaucus as an example. Glaucus can still work as a diesel binder against normal enemies, but her talent and skill 2 are made to deal with fast moving drones. Or someone like Poncyrus. She's a pioneer vanguard, meaning she generates big bursts of DP every few seconds, but her skill 2 and talent give her more of a lane holder kind of vibe, with a lot of defensive stats. She's supposed to be a pioneer that should be deployed over a longer period of time. Let's continue down the list. Lunacap, for example. She's a Deadeye, meaning she does well against enemies with low defense, and because of her constant camouflage, she can be deployed without any problems, and in case you need some extra damage, you can use her skill, thereby dropping her camouflage. So she is a sniper you can use in stages where there is a lot of risk involved of losing ranged units. Let's move on to her guard, like Flint. She's a fighter guard, meaning high ASPD and mediocre defense, but she's not meant to be used as a blocker unlike Mountain or even Shongyu. Her talent increases damage to all enemies she is not blocking, and her skill 2 incentivizes that, by reducing her block count to 0. And this list just goes on and on. Each 5 star just covers a certain niche and that's it. These operators, in most cases, can't really make use of their full potential if their niche is not present. Best example for this would be Lapland. Against enemies with no special abilities, she has no passive, she has no talent to speak of whatsoever. Or using Provence against high HP targets means for the most time she can't use her good skill 2. Or the opposite, using Adriana against low health targets means she also can't make use of her good skill 2. And the niche in this case would be Provence is used to clean up targets, while Adriana is making it easier to get rid of targets in the first place.
Okay, But doesn't this mean those 5 stars are good at their niche?
Well, yes. But let's get to the bread and butter of this. What if I tell you that for a little bit less or more, you don't have to deal with that niche in the first place? Let's talk about investment behind 5 stars. And let me start by quoting the comment. Quote, 5 stars are generally in the uncanny zone, where their power is usually marginally better than 4 star, but also marginally less expensive to promote compared to 6 star, making it often not worth the material. End quote. And at this point the video is now going to become more theoretical or more practical depending on how you look at it. Because for now we are going to take a look at the Reaper archetype especially. Since in this case we have 4 operators to look at: Humus, Highmore, La Pluma and Executor Altar. They cover all rarities and we even have 2 5 stars to pick between. Let's start by looking at the power dynamic of these operators first. And let's get the obvious out of the way. Level cap. Of course 4 stars get to level 70, 5 stars to 80 and 6 stars to 90. This means more stats with higher level. Looking at their attack stats, there usually is like a 40 to 50 point difference between the next rarity, or the next higher rarity to be more precise. And of course there are other stats as well, so there definitely is the stat difference. But in the end we want to look at the talents and skills of these operators. Let's do a quick talent rundown. Executor has a chance to double his DPS, and it gets better while his skill is active and it synergizes with Laterano Ops. La Pluma gains increased ASPD upon takedown, Highmore is able to heal elemental damage, and Humans does not waste self-healing thanks to Over Barrier. And with this we can already make out some specializations. Executor is meant to be the DPS and the better self-sustain, because being able to twice means double the healing. La Pluma can also get decent DPS because of her ASPD, but is held back by having to contest takedowns. Highmore is meant to solve the enmity problem against elemental damage, and Humors converts excess healing into a barrier. And just from this alone it should be pretty clear that Humors and Executor are a bit more less reliant on circumstances to make the max use of their talents. La Pluma needs takedowns, and Highmore doesn't have a talent when there is no elemental damage present in the first place. Let's continue this with the skill rundown. Skill 1 enhances the next attack for Humus, La Pluma and Highmore. Humus heals additional HP but needs 1 more SP. Executor gains flat armor ignore, needs 8 SP, but skill is active for longer thanks to his ammo mechanic. Skill 2 increase attack for La Pluma and Highmore. La Pluma gains more damage to enemies below 50% health. Highmore gains physical evasion and 10% HP recovery upon takedown within her attack range. Humus gains increased block and vigor, while his HP is above 50 and 80%, giving him more attack. Executor gains attack, defense, block count and melee evasion, and can have infinite uptime thanks to ammo regeneration on dodge. And then we have skill 3, which only Executor has 1, big boost to attack, more attack per ammo spent, better HP recovery, nuke on skill end. Now let's do the summary on this. Skill 1 is pretty much streamlined across these operators, acting as a basic damage end without many restrictions. Skill 2 is where some things get interesting, because this skill plays into the niche of their talent. Humus can keep his vigor up longer thanks to the barrier. La Pluma gets a better chance to secure those takedowns. Highmore can make sure to avoid some physical damage and better keep her elemental healing in check. Executor can spend as much ammo as he wants to gain more of the DPS double up chance.
Oh, those Reapers look sick. Why would you tell me not to build such awesome units?
The simple answer is numbers and materials. If you were to look at numbers only and not DPS, Humus would be stronger than La Pluma and Highmore, and Executor would be on top. But since we are looking at DPS here, the list would be something like Executor, La Pluma, Humus, Highmore. But this would imply that La Pluma got her ASPD stacks. And now the thing that I've been teasing about for the longest time. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. The material cost of this. Let's start with a simple shopping list, seeing what you need to upgrade those operators of yours. For this list, I will list the material based on rarity, and we will not include EXP, LMD and skill level cost. But we will have a look at skill 2 mastery 3. In this case, we would get something like this. Humans would need 3 chips, 5 chip packs, 2 T2 materials, 23 T3 materials, 2 E2, and 43 materials, 74 materials, 2 T5 materials to M3. La Pluma needs 4 chips, 6 chip packs, 3 catalysts, 72 materials, 13 T3 materials, 74 materials to E2, and 3 T3 materials, 14 T4 materials, and 4 T5 materials to M3. Let's continue this. Heimer needs 4 chips, 6 chip packs, 3 catalysts, 10 T2 materials, 13 T3 materials, 9 T4 materials to E2, and 2 T3 materials, 15 T4 materials, and 4 T5 materials to M3. And lastly, the big boy in the room. Executor needs 5 chips, 8 chip packs, 4 catalysts, 11 T2 materials, 74 materials, 3 T5 materials to E2, and 73 materials, 19 T4 materials, and 6 T5 materials to M3. Since this was a bit fast, let's make this a bit more easier for you to understand. For this we will assign points to the materials. Chips will be 1 point, chip packs will be 2 points, and catalysts will be 3 points. And the materials gain points based on a tier, meaning T1 is worth 1 point, T2 is worth 2 points, and so on. And if this, we instead gain the following. Humus would need 133 points, La Pluma would need 191 points, Heimer needs 206 points, and Executor needs 225 points. And if you would look at that, there is a huge difference in material cost between 4 stars and 5 stars. And then there is a pretty small, if not even negligible difference between a 5 star and a 6 star. Obviously, I did not take into account the time investment to actually get those materials in the first place. I mean, most of the higher tier materials are made out of multiple smaller crate materials, so you just have to look past that. But now, we have everything we need to wrap this video up. 5 stars in Arknights are one tricks. They can only do one thing well, which is the niche they were assigned to. Sometimes even losing talents or parts of skills if a certain condition is not fulfilled. In comparison to higher and lower rarities, the lower rarities can keep up with 5 stars, and 6 stars will most of the time completely outclass them. Add to that 4 stars need way less materials, and 6 stars needing just a bit more investment. It should be pretty clear that 5 stars are in this weird space in between. To be able to actually make them worth investing into, there would need to be some kind of cut to material cost, like removing the catalysts or adjusting the amount of materials needed. This would make them a bit more attractive to promote, or another fix would be that they should not only do well in one niche, because there are 5 stars that work well even without their niche. But my friend Vosz has you covered on that. He will tell you all you need to know about those 5 stars in his video. So then, Vosz, do you want to add anything to this last statement of mine, or do you have some words for the viewers?
I'm just curious what everyone's favourite 5 star is. Mine would have to be Cruise for sure, and you can find out all about them in my video. Let me know who your favourite is in the comments.
Okay then, go make sure to check out Vosz's video as well. Consider liking and subscribing, and if you have anything you want to add to this discussion as well, leave a comment. And I will see you again soon. Have a good day.